everybody. So today we're going to be doing a fun page, and it's all about rounding. This is a review so you don't lose your skill. I want to do a quick review in our journal about how to do rounding. Today you're going to be rounding to the nearest 10. Wow, let me fix that. To the nearest 10 and to the nearest 100. Okay? So let me review with you. If I have the number 37 and I need to round it to the nearest 10, which number is in the tens place? The 3. Which number determines if that 3 gets bigger or stays the same? That would be our friend next door, the 7. Since 7 is bigger than 5, that means my 3 needs to round up to the next tens place. So my 3 becomes a 4. And my 7 becomes a 0. So 37, rounded to the nearest 10, is 40. What if I had the number 370? Same thing. If I'm rounding to the nearest 100, what number is in the hundreds place? That would be 3. The number next door, which is the one immediately to the right, tells us if that 3 is getting bigger or staying the same. 7 is still bigger than 5, so my 3 is going to get bigger, and everything else turns into zeros. So 370 rounded to the nearest 100 equals 400. Let's do one more just to make sure we have it. What if I have the number 53, and I'm rounding to the nearest 10? What number is in the tens place? Well, that would be the 5. And what number determines if it moves? That would be the neighbor next door. 3 is smaller than 5, so that means my 5 does not change. It stays the same. So my 5 stays the same, my 3 becomes a 0. So 53 rounded to the nearest 10 is 50. All right, how about the number 627 rounded to the nearest 100? What number is in the hundreds place? The 6. What number determines? The one immediately to the right. 2 is smaller than 5, which means the 6 stays the same. So my 6 stays the same. Everybody else turns to zeros. So 627 rounded to the nearest 10 equals 600. All right, now that we've reviewed our rounding, it's your turn to practice. I'm going to switch my camera to show you what you'll be working today. When you log into ClassKick today, you're going to see a page that looks like this. It says winter color by number 1, rounding numbers, page 1, solve each problem by rounding. We're going to go ahead and do number 1 together, and then I'll walk you through what to do with your answer. So let's look at number 1. It says there are 48 children waiting in line for the merry-go-round. What is the number of children waiting in line rounded to the nearest 10? Okay, so I need to take the number 48 and round to the nearest 10. So let's do that. What number is in the tens place? The 4. Which number determines if my 4 is going to get bigger or stay the same? The number immediately to the right, which is the 8. 8 is bigger than 5, which means my 4 gets bigger. So it's going to become a 5. And then my 8 turns into a 0. So 48 rounded to the nearest 10 is 50. So I'm going to write that on my line. I'm going to write 50 because that's my answer. Okay. Now, in order to do the next part, you need to write down your answers in your journal as well. So you're going to want to grab your math journal, and I'm going to show you what I want you to do. On the first clean sheet, I want you to write down color by number, so you remember what this is for. And then you're going to put number 1, and the answer was 50. Okay? Color by number, Number 1, the answer was 50. You need to write down each of your answers on a separate sheet of paper. It'll make the next parts much easier. Okay? So I have the answer to number 1. Now you need to do numbers 2 through 20. So I'm going to go ahead and write those in my journal. Sorry, it's taking me just a second. And I'm just writing them straight down the side so that I have them. Okay, so you're going to be doing 20 rounding problems today. Here we go. And I wrote numbers 1 through 20 down the side of my journal. And each time you answer a question, you need to put the answer next to the problem number. Okay, put your answer next to the problem number, just like we did for number 1. Here's why you need to do that. Let me show you the next part. You're going to come to a page that looks like this. Yikes, that's a lot of numbers. What do I do with this? Well, first you're going to scroll down to the bottom. And down here, these are the colors that we need to color these things up here. So I'm going to read the directions. It says the numbers inside the squares in the picture match the problem numbers on your worksheet. So we wrote our problem numbers here. These numbers match our problem numbers. When you solve a problem, you will look for the answer below in order to know what color to color that square. Okay, so my answer to number 1 was 50. So down here, I need to find the number 50. And look, it's right here. Color white if the answer is 50. So you can just leave it white if you want to, or you can come and grab your highlighter and you can color it white. All right? Then you're going to come up here and using your highlighter tool, and you want it on the biggest setting, you're going to find the number 1 and you're going to color it white. And you might want to color it quite a few times to cover up the number, just so you know you've done it. Okay, oh, here's another number 1. Okay, and all I did was choose the white highlighter, and I'm just clicking on it a whole bunch of times to make the number 1 disappear. Okay, you can still kind of see it, but not completely. So you would do that for all of them. And I'm doing it because it's problem number 1. So it matches all the number 1s on this page. And my answer was 50. Okay? All right. If you run into any issues or have any questions, please let me know. Y'all have fun with this, and I cannot wait to see your mystery pictures.